And there we go. Jumping straight into it. Bromack with a pretty decent hand here to start.
Yes, we see the Jirachi start. That is the dream. I always told people if I start Jirachi, you should just scoop it up because game's already over. It just feels so good to Stellar Wish.
Both players getting that ideal start. And Victini, double Victini with the energy attached. That's basically all you really want to see on the Victini side of the board for early game. So he's definitely going to threaten a boss play if Bromack puts down a regular V.
Oh, and there's a V, but there is a way to get another V.
Yep.
So that's Bromack's goal.
Yeah.
Definitely get down 2 Vs, and hopefully they stay safe and you get to evolve both of them next turn.
Yeah. So the play is you definitely need to get 2 Vs out because they can't knock you both of them out. The boss would just knock out one, so that way you would at least get the Rapid Strike Urshifu VMAX out on the next turn. So getting down 2 is huge, and there you see it. And then he can also put down that VMAX back into his deck and potentially see a different hand if he wanted to get that energy out. So we'll see what Bromack decides to do.
Also of note, the Victini deck plays 1 Mewtwo and Mew Tag Team GX. So getting the Jirachi GX is also going to be important because otherwise, even if you get the VMAXs out, they can just go, cool, Mewtwo, Double Blaze, knockout. Interesting, choosing to Stellar Wish first.
Definitely, you usually want to do your dig cards before you Stellar Wish. There are slight, sometimes different situations that you might not want to do that, but.
Then we're going to see a Marnie. I like the Marnie. We know they have a net in hand and they have a Stellar Wish option, so the odds of them getting the boss KO were fairly high with the hand of the 2 cards we know they had.
Mm-hmm.
And as of right now, you don't really need anything else. Choosing not to play a Rapid Strike Energy. I like this. Otherwise, they just target the one with the Rapid Strike Energy. You don't really need to Rapid Flow next turn. Doesn't really do anything.
Mm-hmm. So we're going to see if he gets boss switch. But I do like the holding of the energy. So he does get the switch. Does he have boss?
That is also a boss.
That is also a boss in this situation. The return of Escape Rope is huge in this meta right now. So great play on his part.
Yep, and that is the one of Escape Rope too.
Yeah, and used it at the perfect time. So how much is a secret rare level ball worth? Like I think it's at the low end I've seen it at 20, and at the high end I've seen it in like the high 50s. I think it's probably closer to that 20 mark, but not 100% sure. It's one of those cards that is a big range of cards to see what it's worth.
We're gonna go ahead and see a quick ball here. Let's see, opting for either Dedenne or Crobat. You have 2 options because you have switch in hand. But you could also potentially just go for the Stellar Wish, Net Switch, Day, and then see what you can pull from there.
Will be interesting. And also important to note, Dedenne can't be one-shot by the Victini because he is not a V.
No, Dedenne is much too thick of a Pokemon.
So he's Stellar Wishing again.
The P-Com is not good because you can't net P-Com. Well, no, you never P-Com the Dedenne. I was just thinking about it. You could P-Com the Dedenne, but that doesn't sound correct.
So I think he's going to fall into that trap that we were talking about earlier.
Oh, no.
Hopefully he doesn't, and he gets a switch out. Definitely going to go for the evolve, but right now, if it's as it stands, he's only going to be hitting him for 30 damage, which is not going to be really good for Bromack. So he needs to find some kind of switch out to get him back to active.
Yeah, that was a super interesting turn. There were a lot of ways to play out that turn.
So he does have that turn where he could definitely double switch. See what he does here. But then you're down to switch, which is kind of unfortunate.
Plus the switch speed just Day changed away, which is that's a lot. That's a big cost.
It is, but at this point, I think it's a necessary evil.
There's another switch. So we are going to see the hit for 150 and not play anything else. That seems correct. You don't want to put the Crobat down as an easy boss target. Make them do a little bit of work before you put those juicy Crobats on the bench. Now, of course, the opponent can respond with a Mewtwo Double Blaze, and I don't think there's a single response that Bromack can come up with to that.
Oh, I agree. In chat, every deck is a control deck, Mellow. And
it is true.
And Sleepy Dreepy with the yo, what's going on? Thanks for stopping by for the stream. This is the last round of the cut, so this is a win and in. And then we're gonna go and see who makes cut and what lists make cut. So let me go look at the metagame to see what the lists were to refresh everybody.
That was an incredibly interesting choice. Choosing the quick ball away the welder and then Crobat to save the scoop up net instead of saving the welder and needing to find a switch card, despite having more switch in deck than welders. So super interesting play there by the opponent. I'm not sure why they made that choice.
We will see. I'm not 100% as well. Going into the guaranteed 4-1 right now would assume close to guaranteed making cut. We got 4-1 and up. We have Mad Party followed by 2 Rapid Strike Urshifus, a Tempo Zard, a Single Strike Urshifu, and then we got an ADP at 4-1, and then we have a few people on the bubble with Victinis. One we're watching here. Colton is also on the bubble, on top of Bromack being another bubble player for sure. So there are a lot of close games to still be determined to see who makes it.
And we see a Day change away another welder, so they're going to have to go with the Victini hit, which isn't bad, like at all. There's not a whole lot to really do here. So the game doesn't end, thankfully.
No, it doesn't end this turn.
But Bromack's got some choices. We could potentially see a Gray Catcher play. We could see a Rapid Strike. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the Rapid Strike has to be the call. And so, unfortunately for him, he's probably going to lose this Rapid Strike regardless this turn. But that being said, if you can get a V down, he's kind of safe this turn. So you can potentially come back with a response after the following knockout. If you can get a V down this turn, I think it's crucial for him to do that.
Yeah, we could potentially see a Gmax Rapid Flow hitting the Victini, hitting the Mewtwo, and that makes the Mewtwo useless. Or we could potentially, yeah. And then we can finish off the Victini later. I'm thinking about all the possible plays. We could see a Rapid Flow hitting the Victini on the bench. That seems bad. We could see a Great Catcher taking 2 prizes and then hitting the Mewtwo.
So I think what you really want to ideally see is hitting into the Mewtwo and the Victini, and those are the two reprisers you really are trying to go for your win con. You're definitely going to be losing this VMAX this turn. So is there a way? So he's going to put the Mewtwo up. I think
a very
taking
awkward draw.
I think taking the Dedenne is the wrong call.
If that escape rope were a switch, this hand would actually be quite nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, going for the Rapid Flow, you always hit the Mewtwo because you have the Mimikyu on the field. And I think you have to hit the Victini because, like you said, the only way you win this game is by going 3-3.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you unfortunately can't take those other prizes at the moment. And you definitely want to take that Mewtwo off the board for the weakness.
Going to see a Giant Hearth. Unfortunately, there's no way to KO this Victini easily. There's the max victory for a knockout. Now, they do have, Bromack does have the, what's it called? Reset stamp in deck.
He does have it, but no real good way to get cards out there.
That's fine. We always top deck here.
We always top deck. We top deck, and we're fine. Top deck the VMAX.
See, that was a misplay. You're supposed to top deck a good card.
Yeah. And so he's in a really I think this is just game at this point. Unfortunately for Bromack,
because you can KO the.
Well,
No, they need
you can-
Energy Boss VMAX to win the game.
Great catcher, the Mewtwo, and try to catch him. I don't know.
I think
There's a
you just
stall.
go ahead and go Goonping plus Strafe into the Dedenne. They can't actually KO the Dedenne. And then you take out their biggest threat and you're going to force them to need. I mean, they probably have it. They have a very large hand, but you at least force them to need to have these pieces.
Yeah, you definitely don't want Jirachi in the active. You don't want to knock out whatever's in the active as well. So if he can kind of stall them out, like you said, and then top deck that away to get a VMAX, he potentially has game right then and there. But hitting into it doesn't feel like the right play. Although the Dene can't be KO'd again, like we said, from the... But there's the boss.
Yep. Unfortunately, there wasn't a whole lot to do on that turn.
Yeah, he just had to try to stall. Didn't work out for him, but still a good run on his part. It does look like Colton, and he's playing a winning, is still playing. We're going to jump into table 3 here.
All right, so we're watching
maybe
nothing now.
Nope, it was showing, and then it's gone. So what ended up happening there?
So Colton ended up winning against Eternatus.
Nice.
So that is a Victinian cut for sure.
Yeah, so...
Well, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and take a look at another one of our videos here. Also, if you haven't done so yet, hit subscribe. It goes a long way in helping us grow. Remember, we release a podcast episode once a week on all the major platforms. We also stream every Friday on Twitch and make a Whimsey Watch monthly report.